Hey, this is Chris Buono, and I'm going to show you how to play Ain't Talking About Love from Van Halen from their debut album. This is a simple tune. It's right up there with iconic simple riffs such as Crazy Train and Iron Man, Smoke on the Water, and stuff like that. It sticks in your head. It's awesome. And we're going to check out all of the parts. The main parts that Eddie played, plus a secondary part that's buried in the solos where he plays a sitar sound on a sitar type of copy thing that Dan Electro made. We'll talk about it more. And there is a version for beginners if you're just starting out. This tune is actually really playable if you are just starting out. So, important to note, I am tuned down a half step. So your E, A, D, G, B, and E have to go down to E flat, A flat, D flat, G flat, B flat, E flat. However you need to do that, you need to do it with a tuner, by ear, or what have you. I will be using a sound much like Eddie does, which is a completely cranked and out of control Marshall. So lots of gain. I will also be using his three go-to sounds. That is phaser, analog phaser, flanger, analog flanger, and delay, tape delay. Also, you'll hear a generous amount of reverb that was used in the mix of the records. So sound is there, riffs are there, everything is there. We are ready to go. First thing we're going to do is check out an arrangement where you get to hear all the parts, and then we're going to start breaking things down from there. Okay? Let's do it. Ain't talking about love. There's a lot, but there's not. But there isn't. There's things going on here. It's famously known as like this 2-chord song, but in actuality, there's obviously more than that. That said, yes, A minor to G is the main riff and stuff like that. We're going to go through everything, but let's talk about the sound for a second. Van Halen 1, super lead, cranked, all that stuff. He did play this one on his Frankie. Previous to the Frankie looking like this, it was just black and white, and we know that from the whammy bar antics that are on this. He also famously used his go-to effects. The phaser, MXR Phase 90, the flanger, which was now vintage, analog MXR, and the tape delay, all going into the amp. You know, it's like, oh my God, how could you do that? You know, time-based and modulation, stuff like that. Analog effects like going into gain better than digital effects do. So, and also there is a little bit of rasp in there, and it all made this one great thing. Reverb comes from the tanks, or the room, sorry, at Sunset Sound. So, but of course you can add that in your rig.
Hey folks, I hope you're enjoying this song lesson. But did you know TrueFire has over 400 song lessons for you to choose from? Sound off in the comments with the song you'd like to learn next. And if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's get back to it.
Okay, so let's get it going. The intro, the very iconic intro, is a fully palm muted sequence between A minor a bit of F, and a bit of G. So check out what's going on here. We come in with the A minor, and I'm holding the chord the whole time. Then I'm going to lift up to get the open E to get into a first inversion F. And then I'm going to do what seems like this. It is. I'm just doing this. And then, well, I'm going to mute that G, and then not mute the C. So, all mutes. Now, when that C comes in, an effect comes in. There is a lot of debate as to what effect it is. Is it phaser? Is it flanger? I am throwing my hat in the game and saying it's flanger, not phaser, flanger. He totally uses the phaser on the solo, no doubt. We'll see it when we get there. There's no question he does. That's usually what he did on solos anyway when there's an effect. Almost always. Always. But when you listen to the track, it has that thing a flanger has that a phaser does not, and that metallic jet thing. And I'm surprised at people that think it's the phaser, because a phaser, to me, when I hear a phaser, especially an analog phaser, it has a very sweet, I think of milkshakes. And then when I hear flangers, I think of jets. And when I hear that intro, it's a jet. So that's what's going on. So every time we get to that juncture, the flanger gets turned on. And he does it 4 times. Okay, for the super accurate people, there is a thing. The second time he plays the riff. So he does one variation, and I don't think it's intentional. He hits the C twice instead of going to the A. I did it here. You could certainly play it 4 times the same way. I just did it just to be thorough. Okay. The tune comes in, it's happening. Oh, also, by the way, delay is on the whole time. The tape delay, that's about 300 milliseconds. It does not say that on the delay when he did it because it was an actual tape delay, but I think we're all in agreement that it's about 300 milliseconds. It's on the whole time. That's what famously gives this that smack. Dot, you hear it. I remember when I was a kid trying to learn this. I've been playing this song since I was like 12 or 13 and lovingly doing it. I used to think that was a thing I had to play, so I used to play it, put it in the rhythm and stuff, but later I learned it's the sort of a slapback. Okay, A minor into G, that is a constant. What is a variable is what happens at this point. At this point, it's an E that plays that precedes that motif of da, da, da. At this point, it's an E. It's going to change when we get to the verses. Keep that in mind. But for now, it's an E that does that. Okay, that's going to happen many times throughout the tune. So, I'll refer to that, but that's how you play it. There is some things that happen, as a response to this sometimes. For instance, right here, at this juncture of the tune, it does this. The first instance of him using the whammy bar. What I did is I picked the C. I'm using my first finger to cut out any unwanted string noise. Third finger's fretting the C. I pick it, but notice I already have the bar in my hand. And I'm going down for dives. Not dives, but really, just quick dives, motions, gulps, or whatever. When preceding the slides, I'm giving it a movement up and down, and I'm sliding whole step, step and a half. I'm basically following an A minor pentatonic scale, C, D, E, and G. Riff continues doing the thing, and at the last time before the vocals, and at the same place, he gives you just simply... a bend here, gives it 2 movements, 2 down, whatever. We got to come up with a name for that. And then he goes into the verses. Okay, verses are totally palm muted like the intro, but the pattern is a little different. And this is one where people assume that it's the pattern from the intro, but it's not. It's just a little different. We do this. Same as the intro, but this is where it gets different. So he gets to the F and then plays the A again. It is not this. It's this. And then you're getting the top parts of the G chord, no mute. You could finger that with the way I did it, or you can come up and just bar your first finger, whichever way you want to do. Now, remember I said this about what happens before? Instead of playing an open E, he plays G. So when he's arpeggiating the part during the verse, he plays G. And then when he's playing the chords open like that in the verses, making it big, he plays an open E, right? Okay, that happens 4 times. The 4th time, you do not play at all. You just do this. And then you go into the chorus, which is 4 times, straight up, boom. You flow into the verses with everything I just said. You flow into the chorus with almost everything that I just said. So you play the chorus riff twice, and paying attention to whether you do or doing that stuff. Okay, in the second chorus, we play the riff as is, we play it twice, and then we come up to something that he does as that response thing. So 3rd time in the second chorus, he does this. It's a unison bend, gives it 2 pumps. Let's call it that. Oh man, that's my pick. Let's call it that. He does 2 pumps, and then so in the second chorus, there's another instance of a response after, and it's this. So I played a unison bend at G, here, bending up to a G and holding a G. Gave it 2 pumps, I like that word. And then rose it up, took it up a whole step to keep another bend going up a whole step, and gave it another 2 pumps. That's kind of a pain in the butt to do that. So an alternative way to do that is this. Is to bring it up to the A and not hold the bend. But I'm pretty sure that he did the bend and then did what I'm doing. From there, he's going to finish off the chorus with the riff and get ready to do the solo. So dig into this, get what's going on, find your phaser, because you didn't use it yet, because we used flanger in the beginning, and we're going to get into the solo. But dig into what we got going on so far.
Hey folks, I hope you're enjoying this song lesson. But did you know TrueFire has over 400 song lessons for you to choose from? Sound off in the comments with the song you'd like to learn next. And if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's get back to it.
At this point, we're at the first solo. It's after the second chorus. He's played the big riff, but with no answer, no. It's just simply turn on the phaser as that chord is ringing so you can start playing. Okay, so the phaser gives it that, sort of feeling of motion in the back and also some filtering, some coloring to it. What I'm doing is playing a melody on the B string while the high E string rings the whole time. I use my 3rd finger to do it. You can use whatever finger you feel comfortable with. Maybe 2nd finger. I've seen people do it that way. I just use my 3rd finger. I always have. So I'm following pretty much, well, definitely A minor. So starting here at 5th fret, step and a half, whole step to the 12th fret, another whole step, to the 9 there. Once I get to that point, and also notice the places where I either do a shift slide or a grace note slide. That's a shift slide. That's a grace note slide. Shift. We get the bar, we get 3 pumps, and then we continue. Did you hear that, doubling up or actually quadrupling up, a little 16th note thing right there? You can try to just hit the B string when you do it. If you hit the E string while you're doing it, then, that's okay too. It's just the rhythmic part of it is definitely there. Now remember, at the same time, and we're going to look at this part, at the same time, there is a second guitar in there. They're playing almost the same melody. He used a copy of a choral sitar that Dan Electro made, and I don't know, for whatever reason, he put that overdub in there. He never did it again on any other recording ever, just on this one. He decides, you know what we could hear? Sitar. So, yeah, we got that. Okay, so that's the first half of the solo as it continues. There's that one time I back up to my first finger. Otherwise, I'm still playing with my third finger, very arched, so I can get that high E string, right? Once I get to the point where I'm at, I'm going to play this 4 times. He does do something slightly different at one point in there, but it just stick to the 4 hammer-on pull-offs to that E flat. Now from there, it's going to catch that note on the 17th fret there, bend up and down, pull off to an open string. And that follows whatever David Lee Roth is singing at that point. I forget the lyrics, but rhythmically he matches right up with that. Which, by the way, Van Halen, of course, was all style and doing all sorts of flashy things. But you know what? When you listen to him in context, it wasn't so much flashy as much as it was his way of just connecting and comping, coming from my jazz background. He was just participating in the song and embellishing the song in that way and just joining in. It's very much part of the song, these things he does. He just chose to do it that way, and it could seem like it's a little more than like it needs to be, but it's not. It totally fits. Anyway, that dive bomb on the G string, I know in the performance I hit something else. So what? The point is that there's a dive bomb there. I'm going to play the G string forever and ever, but that one time I didn't. It is just the G string. Okay, that's out of the first solo. What happens from there is they roll into a chorus. Everything is what it is. Except for the last time he plays the chorus, he just doesn't do, or he just plays, and he brings down the volume to get into that interlude, where David Lee Roth is mumbling something. So again, we're going into a sequence of A minor, F, G, but here it is. Again, this is one that usually gets played incorrectly, and I did when I was a kid. I never heard that G until I really listened closely, that last G. So it does open up like all the times we've been playing A minor. It does that, and then it feels similar to the intro, but what he does here is, and there's no flashy nothing here. There's no pulling of strings, there's no vibrato, there's no bar, there's no nothing. It's just playing that very lightly. And remember, there's no channel switching either back then. So to get that clean tone, he just rolled his volume back. And that's how you get it to be cleaner. And also his picking dynamics contribute to that. So the playing of what I just played, remember to get this. Oop. That open G before you do the hammer on. Plays that 3 times, and of course at the end, the 4th time, he does something slightly different. He does not play the open G. He plays this. Just does the old tried and true thing there. And that's when he rocks into the slamming of the A minor chords to be met with flanger. And he does a series of harmonic licks. There's all these great harmonic licks, especially on Van Halen 1. He did a bunch, and it just must have been his thing back then. Okay, so every time he proceeds the harmonics with bam, bam, A minor. And here's the licks. First one is this. 5th position, up. 12th position. So it's on 4-3-2 string set. So you can think of it this way. 4-3-2, 4-2-3. And I'm talking strings right now. Next one, 5th position, 2-3-4. It does sneak into 7th and goes 4-2, 4-3-2, 3. So that one as a whole. One more time. Next one, 4-3-2. 4-2, and then hit them all. And get the bar and do that. And it actually matches what David Lee Roth is singing at the time. And then after that, it's just a 4-3-2. And the whole time, you're not fully up at that point, but you're definitely louder than the arpeggiated part that is very cleanish. You're kind of, in the middle. So let's look at the volume knob. I was down about 2 or 3 for the... with no flanger, of course. But then I came up to the middle to get And then by the time we're done, open it up. And you're riding out, well, you're continuing. You're into another chorus, which does the riff as we know, using the E. A lick we've seen before. The fourth time, the magic fourth time, he plays the riff differently this one time. And what he does, and it matches David Lee Roth's vocals, he does this. So what he's doing is playing the A minor and then pulls off, which does two E's before the G. It's the only time he ever does this. Then he continues into another chorus. So this is a double chorus at this point. Continues playing the riff as we know it. When he comes to the second time of this part of the chorus, he does this. So he's just up here. And if you want to look at it as root position A minor pentatonic, that's where he's at, 17th position. He's playing a unison bend. You know, it's just that screaming thing, which actually Michael Anthony answers about 2 bars later. But Eddie continues playing the riff, you know, doing what we've been doing. And we're coming up to the second solo. Right before the second solo, the riff goes like this. He just gives you that, and right before that, see, in the first time he played the solo, he gave himself, and you got time to hit that phaser. At this point, you're muting, and you got to hit the phaser. Not the biggest deal, but you know, just keep that in mind if you're really trying to be accurate. Okay, second solo starts out the same way as the first one. Notice that time I did not do that 16th note thing to get, you know, back down. There was nothing. It's like kind of played straight. However, he saves that for the next part of the second solo where, first of all, before, like right at the start of this, he goes da-da-da, you know, he goes da-da-da into this and does this. So he quadruples up, 16th notes his way through that melody. It's the same melody, it's the same inflections, you know, the shift slides and the grace note slides, except the whole time you're doing 16th note in your right hand. When you get up to this part, that is just 3 times instead of 4 times. And what he does to, I guess, fill in the time of that subtracted one. And again, not exact science here. It's just generally what happens. He hits the open strings, you know, there's something else, open strings again, and then, you know, dumps the low E string. Pocket. That's your priority, is to get the pocket. Make it feel good. And of course, listen to what everybody else is doing because it's intentional, you know, to be with the groove of the song. Okay, phaser off, and you're into now the flow towards the end of the song. He's into the chorus riff. He's playing the riff, right? He gives you the riff 2 times, straight up as is. Third time, he gives you this. Because at this point, they're singing the hey, hey, hey thing, and he matches it up with it. See what I mean? All the stuff that Eddie does is intentional. It's fun, it's flashy, it's cool, but it's intentional too. It serves the song. Okay, plays the riff one more time to get into a new variation of the riff. Now he's going to do something for the song. That's the hey, hey, hey. And he does that 4 times. Gets us into the official outro of the song, which is really fun to play. Starts off on A minor and plays A minor in a unique way. Hits the chord and just grabs a little bit, you know, hits the top of it. Check this out. So what I did is I played the A minor, I played the B power chord preceding it with an A, which I think I hit you before, but it's an A. Then hit the C power chord, which is preceded by an E. You know, it's got that very evil riff, and then from there, total dive bomb, plays the riff again. evil. Now check this out. Nothing preceding those chords. Well, the B. Big E minor 7 right there. I'll wish you were here. And then dive bombs again. I mean, you can actually maybe give some vibrato. I think he does. I did. I think he actually, which he doesn't normally do. You know, as you're holding it, but then it dives. And then rise back up right into an E9 to end it. And yeah, a little bit of delay because it's been on there the whole time. That is Ain't Talking About Love. A lot of activity, but if you think about serving the song, all that activity makes sense. Yes, there's some effect switching in here. It's great practice to get in the head of bringing effects in and out in real time. Flanger and phaser. And like I said, I say it's flanger in the beginning. Fight me. Okay, have fun with the tune and get to it.
Talking about love. know I lost a lot of friends there, baby. Got no time to mess around. So if you want it, gotta bleed for it, baby. Yeah, got to bleed, baby. Got to bleed, baby. Hey, got to bleed, baby. Ain't talking about love, but I'll be ready to the core. Ain't talking about love, just like I told you before. Ain't talking about love, don't wanna talk about love, don't need to talk about love, ain't gonna talk about love, no more, wow! Hey, hey, hey! 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 Hey, hey, hey!
Hey folks, I hope you're enjoying this song lesson. But did you know TrueFire has over 400 song lessons for you to choose from? Sound off in the comments with the song you'd like to learn next. And if you're enjoying this video, don't forget to like and subscribe. Now let's get back to it.
So during the solo in Ain't Talking About Love, there's this element. I remember as a kid listening to the record and emulating and trying to play and all that stuff and listening, it's like, man, what is that? There's something else going on here. And it sounds out of tune. It sounds this and this and that. Well, it makes sense because Eddie picked up a Dan Electro choral sitar copy. If you see Steve Howe in the classic pictures of Yes stuff, he has an actual one. He played that on a few Yes things. Dan Electro made a copy of this 60s choral sitar, and he said, hey, it was around the studio. I thought, hey, let's do it. Good idea. So what I have here is a Line 6 Variax. I believe this is the 59 model, and it has a sitar sound in it. So that's what I'm using to cop that vibe, what's going on. We're playing the solo that he played, but it's actually just simpler. There's no double picking, or tremolo picking to get the 16th note things going on. It's really like the very basic way to play the same melody, Now, there is some sympathetic ringing built into the model. I don't stop there when I play it, so you wouldn't hear that. What I do is once I get to that point, I come right to the 5th position and play. It's very hard in the mix to hear exactly what he does at that point. He definitely picks that bend down like that in 16th notes. And after what he does there is kind of anyone's guess. So I'm just resolving it to an A. And then I'm just holding on to it and backing the volume down to get away from those sympathetic strings built into the model. That's what's going on there. And if you flash forward to the second solo, it's the same thing. And the only difference in the ending is the same unison bend. It's just let it come down by itself without picking it. And then put it back up. Whether it's totally in tune or not doesn't matter because inherently the sitar is kind of always out of tune. That's just the way it is, especially that choral sitar. I've played them and they just have terrible intonation, but they get that thing. So that's what's going on in the back of that solo. In case it was still a mystery for you, that's what it is. And that's how you play it if you need to play it. And if you have a Variax, you could totally do it. And Variax is a lot of fun. Okay, so that's that. Ain't Talking About Love opens up with a part where there's palm muting and you're arpeggiating chords, and you could play that. We're going to do it in a way that all you have to do is this. And then do this. So the first chord is, or the first piece I'm playing is out of an A minor chord. You could finger an entire A minor if you know how to do it. You don't have to. You could just play these two notes the way I'm doing it here with second and first finger. Or, like I said, get an A minor going. Either way, you're playing the third and second string, just doing this. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, 4. What I'm doing here is fingering the top of a G chord, whether you play G like this or like this, but not like this. It's this one. You could also finger this with a bar, which would make some sense coming out of A minor and then just folding your first finger over and coming up. That's a good way to practice that. And as a matter of fact, you're going to kind of be doing it later in the song, so maybe that's the way you should do it. It's just this, and then move up and play it like that. What comes up next is a riff that we're going to play throughout most of the rest of the song, and that is just doing this between two power chords that are separated by 2 frets or a whole step. A and G. And all you're going to do is play this. That's it. It's just going to loop over and over again. For instance, right here, we're going to play it 4 times. And then the verses are going to come in. Now check it out. Anytime I deviate from these 2 power chords, it's going to be related to kind of what I just showed you in the intro. So here's the version of what happens in the verses. We're going to play those same 2 notes in the beginning, same rhythm, except we're going to follow it with this. And there's that bar I was talking about. So I'm playing the first 2 notes out of A minor, but I'm just doing it this way. And then I'm folding over my first finger to play the bar. That could be a little challenging, especially depending on what instrument you're using, but it's worth the trouble because you're eventually going to be barring all 6 strings down there. This is a good way to start getting into it. So I play the first 2 notes, fold over, bar, and play and move. That's what's going to be played in the verses. So this time and the next time it comes up. It gets played 4 times. Guess what comes after that? That's the chorus. So we go verse, chorus, right? That brings us to Eddie's solo, which behind Eddie's solo is, you guessed it, we play that 4 times. Then we follow it with a chorus with said riff 4 times. Then we get to what we call an interlude, where things get a little quieter. So if you're playing with an electric guitar, you might want to lower your volume from full or wherever you're at to somewhere in the middle or below. And what I'm going to do is yet another variation of, I'm going to do that, and I'm going to fold over like we have been, and I'm simply going to just grab that note. Now I do it like that. You could do it like this. You just bring your first finger up if you want to keep with the same way we're doing the verse. But the point is, I'm just playing these 4 notes. So you could do it that way, or you could do it that way, and you can let them ring together like I just did. It'll sound good. Following that part, there's this section that happens 4 times. Eddie plays these cool harmonics, but before he does, he just bangs down on an A minor chord. So we're going to just keep consistent with the power chord we've been playing and just do this. You could play an A minor if you want, but I played this for you. It's just that is that power chord. That's followed by a double chorus. And what that means is I'm just doing what we've been doing for the chorus, just twice as long with the same riff. From there, we roll into Eddie's second solo. We're staying with the riff. We're still doing this. Right? So there's a lot of that. This is a good thing for you to get into. This is good practice for concentration, for not losing your place, for being able to play something simple that allows you to follow a song, follow parts. Hey, I'm in the chorus. I'm going into the solo. I'm going into this. While you're playing the same thing, because it's sometimes a little easy to get snowblind with the same part. So don't let that happen. Okay, at this point, we are now going into, after Eddie's second solo, still playing the riff. We go into another chorus, and we're still playing the riff. That chorus is played 4 times, but then something changes. The vocals start doing this hey, hey, hey thing. And actually starts happening in the chorus I'm talking about. The second half of it, watch this. We're going to start matching up with those hey, hey, heys by playing CCC. The power chord is right here, 3rd position, right next to the G. This is the first time we're playing a power chord on that string set. So, as you've seen, I've been playing a power chord with my 1st and 3rd finger, right? I'm still going to do that, but when I go over to the next string set, everything is the same. My 1st finger is laying over the higher strings, just like it is with these guys, these lower string power chords. The difference is the 1st finger is touching the low E string. That ensures that if I hit it, which I probably will, and it's not a bad thing if you do, you just don't hear it. So that's fine, normal, everybody does it, and you should get used to doing it. So we're going to play that part 4 times, and then we're going to go to something that is new, something that's different at the end. There's the last 8 bars of the song, so watch. We're going to pretty much play power chords on this string set, 5 and 4. We're going to start with open A and walk up A, B, C. Then we're going to go A, B, E. And E is also an open position power chord. You're going to do it again. Everything I just did. You're going to do that again. Hold, listen to the drums, and then get yourself to the 7th position to hit the top 3 strings, or even 2. If you do 2, it's okay, but you just want to hit, at the end. And for extra credit, slide it down. And you'll have made it through Ain't Talking About Love. You will have played a Van Halen song even in your beginning stages. A lot of fun. Just remember, when you're playing that riff, a lot of times throughout the tune, listen to the song and get used to staying in on something even though you're playing the same thing. Don't get lost. Okay? Have fun with it.
I heard the news, baby. All the the streets again. Oh yeah, you think you're really cooking, baby? You better find yourself a friend. My friend ain't talking about love. My love is rotten to the core. Ain't talking about love. Just like I told you before, before. Ain't talking about love. Ain't rotten to the core. Ain't talking about love. Just like I told you before. I've been to the edge, and there I stood and looked down. You know I lost a lot of friends there, baby. Got no time to mess around. So if you want it, gotta bleed for it, baby. Yeah, got to bleed, baby. Got to bleed, baby. Hey, got to bleed, baby. Ain't talking about love. My love ain't ready to the core. Ain't talking about love. Just like I told you before. Ain't talking about love. Don't wanna talk about love. Don't need to talk about love. Ain't gonna talk about love. No more. Wow! Hey, hey, hey. 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 Hey, hey, hey.
That's all for this session. If you've enjoyed what you've seen here today, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that little notification bell for more lessons in the future. Make sure you check out the other lessons on our channel, and don't forget to head over to TrueFire.com for the full experience. We have synchronized tabs, jam tracks, and a massive library of courses covering all topics a guitarist could ever want to learn. Until next time.